this is Jody from Poppywinkle, and this week I'm going to show you how to make these awesome Christmas gift tags. So you put to and from on the back. But honestly, as I got to making them, some of them are so pretty they could actually be little ornaments. I use glossy accents on this, and it looks like a little Christmas ball. So love it. So anyway, this is how we do it. The first one I want to work on is this little gem. It's so fast and so easy, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I took a die cut and I just colored it. These are alcohol markers. I don't know what other markers would do. So just beware, you'll have to experiment if you have different things. But I like the stripes, I like the variation. And I went over the top here because I'm going to gild over that. Next, I'm going to take some clear ink and some gold embossing powder, very thin, and a decorative stamp. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. And I like to press this down on the stamp. I was practicing over here. I like to press it down because otherwise I'm not sure where I'm putting it. After I've stamped it, I pour on the gold superfine embossing powder, shake it off, trying not to touch anything. These little handles are very convenient. And now I'm going to go heat it. So here it is, all heat embossed. I want this to be the back of this. I want this to be like a two-sided thing. And so I'm going to line this up. I want my gold to start at the same spot as that other gold. Oh, we're not quite lined up here. So I'm going to just take a piece of Post-it note. You could take washi tape, whatever. And I just want to block this bottom part off. There we go. Maybe a little down. Yeah. And so now I'm going to gild up here to match this back part. And all I'm going to do is take my ink, rub it on just a little bit, and sprinkle the powder on and heat emboss it. So I had two little bits of inspiration here. Instead of using a Post-it note as a mask, when I went to heat emboss this, I had my finger down here, and even that far away, it was burning my finger, putting the heat here, because this thing is so small. So I used washi tape instead and just stuck it down. So that kept this still. It kept it from blowing away while I heat embossed it, and that way I didn't have to touch it and burn my fingers. And it did not, I thought it might melt the washi tape or something, but it didn't. It was fine. So there's a little tip for you that keeps things still, because my blower is so strong it'll just blow this thing right away instead of heat embossing it. But anyway, then I thought I should use glossy accents on this. And so that's what I'm going to do. I am going to not up here on the gold part, because that's kind of like the hook, but around here I'm going to use glossy accents so it looks like a ball, a real Christmas ball. So that's glossy accents. I'll leave a link to it. It comes in a container with a really thin thing where it comes out, so it's easy to control. And I just always start around the outside. I find it so easy to do. I've seen people have trouble with it. But I'm not too fussy with it, but I just go right around the edge to start. Get it all the way up to the edge, and then I just fill it in. I always keep a pin nearby in case it gets clogged. I'll just poke the pin in there. Or if I get an air bubble, I think this is going to look amazing. It's going to look like a real Christmas ball. So I'm going to do this to both sides and then let them dry, of course. That takes a while. And then I'm going to glue the two sides together. So yes, very excited about this. I'm going to show you how I made this one. This is two different techniques. This is one thing up here, and then this is something else down here. So I'm going to show you how to do this first. I got that part of the die cut I just colored in, and I'm going to put double-sided tape down there to hold this still because I don't want it sliding around. And then I took a stencil and I lined it up. Let's see. I kind of want it in the center. I do want it in the center. So I'm lining this point up with that point so they're up and down, and that's good. And I'm just going to tape this to the paper. And then this ornament is taped to this background. So now I'm going to take my clear ink or embossing ink, whatever it's called, and I'm just going to, without moving the stencil, just ink around and try to get that whole thing filled in. Except up here where I'm just going to put the gilding on that hook. And then I'm going to do my gold glitter, the same super fine gold glitter. I forget what I did next. Oh, I don't think I want to shake it. I might have messed it up. I think I want to take it off. I don't remember what I did. No, oh no. I don't remember what I did. Oh, I blew it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not, if the ink worked. Oh, drama. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, it shouldn't stick. It shouldn't stick. That's right. It shouldn't stick where there's no ink. So even if I got some of the powder in there, I'm okay. Good. Panic. All right, now I'm going to go heat it up. So here it is. It did work. And I could have used a little more ink here in the center. But other than that, it looks good. I'm just going to do the same thing I did before, mask off this, and then ink this part and gild that. So it's all gilded up there. So that's how I did that part of it. Before I show you how I did that second part of it, I wanted to give you a quick tip about die cuts. If you are making your own, I made these are 2 layers of cardstock, and you can buy them, but if you're making your own, sometimes it's not quite smooth. I don't know if you can see that, but that's kind of rough. And if you just take a nail file and go right around there, it smooths that out so well. So if you ever have just a little rough edge from cutting things out, that's a quick tip. So to make this part, I am going to use the same stamp. This stamp works really well for this technique because it has thin impressions. All those lines are very thin, and that makes it look really good. So if you have that kind of stamp, I would suggest using it. And I'm gonna do the technique I'm showing you here and here, but not in the center. And that way it doesn't matter if it's not continuous. On these parts, I'm gonna gild it. So that'll just cover up whatever I accidentally get on there, if that makes sense. So I don't have to mask anything off because I'm just going to cover it up with gilding. So press it down. I'm going to sprinkle it with the embossing powder and heat it. And then I'm going to do the bottom. I think I'll mess it up if I try to do both at once. So here it is. I heat embossed this section and this section. And now I'm going to take my alcohol ink markers, which are the only ones I have. I don't know what else would work. So experiment. And I'm going to color in the little flowers and the leaves and things. And then I'm also going to color in the background, all with different colors. So this is by far the most labor intensive of all the techniques. And then I'll be back. I decided as I did it that I'm not going to color in the background of this one. I did color it in this one, but this is like a pretty green pattern and it just all sort of works. So I'm not gonna color that in. Anyway, now I'm going to mask here. Well, I'll do a better job of that. And then top and bottom here, here and here. And then I'm going to apply the ink again and the embossing powder and heat it. And then I'm going to do the same here. So top and bottom here. So the only things showing are these little, I don't know what, protrusions. So I'll be back. I should have said protuberance like Michael Scott did. I always think of the funny stuff too late. Anyway, here this one is with the gilding, and you can write a little to and from on the back. And I hope this gives you some ideas for some ways to pretty up your packaging at Christmas. And thanks for watching. Bye.